Hi, everybody. So I'm going to talk you through this homework assignment that I gave you, which is to start with one of your um, contour line drawings in ink. Um, and I just did one of my hand here, kind of like I had asked you to do. And so the first step is to, take these uh, um, viewfinders and, move around your drawing to capture some interesting compositions. And it's actually very random. You could really find interest all over the place here. Just probably want to avoid big areas of white. But at any rate, so just take your viewfinder, and the idea is to make them kind of smallish. Not I mean not gigantic, but they can be different sizes. This is also an exercise in, kind of deciding what you kind of enjoy about composition, and also sort of focusing on it. Becoming more aware of what's what's kind of going on in here. And it's nothing to do with your hand anymore or the shoe that you drew. It's just a collection of interesting marks that you made, the marks have a relationship to something in the real world, which helps you get beyond the sort of random marks that we all make, like doodle marks. Something wrong with that, but this gives you another place to start. So I'm going to just do, as I mentioned last night to you, which was to draw the outer edge of your uh, your little compositions here, so that you can cut them out, because we want three, I would say four on another sheet of paper. So and you have lots of drawings to use for this, but you want to capture just a variety. I would say four is a pretty good number for if five, if you can. So I'm just going to quickly do this, and then I'm going to stop the recording and cut these out and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so I've put out all of my pieces that I feel are pretty interesting. And you could almost just turn your drawing, face down and do a bunch of random rectangles in the back and cut those out. But I mean, and that would be another fine way to do it. It's just a little bit of a way in which you can kind of bring in deciding about composition and having that experience as well. So it doesn't really matter. But all right, so now we have these fragments of the drawing that we did. They have, really no relationship now, um, to what you drew, you painted. But they're interesting. The marks are fresh. They're unlabored, which I think is a really nice quality. And you get to see some really beautiful, things in the marks that you might ignore otherwise. So, enjoy what the marks of the brush, without your overworking and trying so hard to make it something. Um, the marks have their own beauty, right? They really do. So, hold this up a little bit more to the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Right, so it's really an abstract composition. All right, so now what I had asked you to do is to place these marks down on another sheet of paper. This paper that I'm using is a little is like half the size of the paper that you have. It's what I have, so we're just going to use it. But of course, this can be done on any size paper. But I'd like to have you work large, because I think it just helps you to kind of expand out a little bit. And it's like a jigsaw puzzle. How do you want to put these marks together? There's no right or wrong. There's just, a sort of, hey, let's see what happens. So the idea here is that you have random marks. You kind of have these spaced out. You could try to join them like I did in a video that I showed you last night, or you could just, ignore that and just instead, you know, when you squint your eyes, you kind of the white drops out. So you don't really, you're not that aware of it. So that's what you really want to do, is just kind of play with how these black marks show up, and think about your edges. Think about letting these marks go right off the edge of the paper, because that's kind of interesting, and that ends up so that you don't have this like super centered stuff in the middle and you're kind of ignoring the rest. It forces you to think about the whole thing. And so when you finish doing that, I'd like you to glue these down. All right, so I'm going to take a second here to glue them down. And by the way, if gluing is new to you, I use um, uh, acrylic medium. Um, this is golden soft gel gloss, but you could use soft gel matte medium. You could use Elmer's glue. You could use, really anything around that you feel is going to make a nice secure bond. And, just another little tip is to make sure that when you glue it, you're turning it over another sheet of paper. I like to use, the stiff edge of a credit card or something to drag the glue across the whole thing and make sure you get it in the corners. Otherwise, what happens is you get these annoying little corners popping up. So, you just want to put it down there like you mean it. All right, so I'm going to take a second to glue mine down. Okay, so I've glued my pieces down on a piece of paper. And as you can see, I've this one, I decided to really go for the edges here. Just kind of not even try to connect them. Just glue the different pieces. Yeah, that's a great thing to try, by the way. And you're reserving your judgment while you're doing this. This is not about whether you like it or not at this point. It's nothing, that's not even in the picture. Just think of it as, let's see what happens. Let's try something here. What if I did this? What if I did that? Just keep it very open because we're not finished yet. All right, so I am actually going to ask you to stop um, here with this exercise, and I'd like you to do 3 sheets of paper with, organizations of these fragments of your drawings that you did last night. We are going to work into these in class with paint. So next week, get ready to use color, and I will lead you through that. But this is where I'd like you to stop. So 3 sheets of paper using, 4 or 5 maybe, different fragments of your drawing, and have fun with this. Okay,